guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make a weave. I've chosen to do it with different kinds of material. So you can do it with anything though. You could literally do it with recycled materials from the recycling bin, like papers and different kinds of things like that. Once you see the process, you can see that you can do it with anything. So it's a lovely one to do for these lockdowns when we don't have access to materials. And yeah, let's dive into looking at how to make a weave.
Okay, what are you going to need? A scissors, a pencil for marking your lines, some string or wool or anything. It just as long as it's strong. You don't want something that breaks easily. I also have a box of materials that I'm going to root through and find things I like, and then some bits and pieces to hang, which I'll show you can use later. So old jewellery or things you like. Okay, from here you want to mark out the top and the bottom evenly. If you have a ruler, you can use that. I'm just going to use this piece of card to mark them out. When you've marked them evenly at the top and the bottom, okay, what you're going to do then is you're going to cut slits down. So when you have cut the little slits in the top, what you're going to want to do is get your thread or string or whatever it is that you're using into the top. The shoelace is handy because it has a little piece at the back, and then you're going down along, pull it nice and tight, keep it firm, and then you're cutting into the next piece. Take your time at this step because you want this to be nice and strong for your weave. And pull it tight again, but not too tight. And so on and so forth until you have the entire thing done. And then when you have all of your pieces wrapped around, you see it's like this at the back, there's nothing on the back. I've just gone around the tops. Okay, then all I do here at the edge, you can cut it off if you want and knot it, but I just wrap it around like this. And then you're going to do a base for the top to keep it nice and strong. So this is the start where you're weaving, this is the part where your weaving method starts. You go over, or under I mean, over the next one, like a little snake going up and down. When you have your piece secured, you pull it tightly so that it's really firm. And then I like to cut a little piece here. Then I go back underneath. This piece isn't going to stay in afterwards, it's just to keep it nice and strong for your weaving. And there I have my structure of my weave. Now we get to fill it with lots of exciting materials. So I'm gathering together all the different materials I like. I'm going to go for these kind of muted tones, or you could, it's raining today so I didn't do it today, but you could go out and get loads of materials from nature, like different leaves and plants and things. It's beautiful to weave in outside in nature. So whatever you have handy really. What I've now done is I've taken material that I like and I've started cutting it into these thin strips. Then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to start with your piece of string at the end. I like to leave a nice little piece hanging outside so that it doesn't unravel easily. If you make it too short, it can unravel. So I start with that hanging out the side. Then this is why it's nice to have your piece cut into strips. I like to roll it up in my hand like so. That keeps it nice and neat. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up and down through this. So you need a little bit of give in your base so that it can do that. And then from there, this is your weaving. And it's really meditative, it's really relaxing. You're going the same as before, under one, over the other one, up and down, up and down, up and down. At the start, I just stick to this technique to make it nice and strong. So we're on line 3 here now, and each time I go backwards and forwards, I'm not pulling this really tight. If you pull it really tight, it pulls in the edges like this. You don't want that. You want to kind of pull it, keep it firm, but not squeeze it in. So you'll get the gist of it. It's just to keep it in that right amount of tension, but not too much. And then each time I'm tucking this down. Okay, so I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, I've about 7 lines done there, and you can see I'm going backwards and forwards like so, and it's starting to form into a nice design that I'm happy with. So when you get to the end, that's why I'm showing you this piece. When I get to the end here, you got this extra piece of string. I'm going to go back in with another piece, but all you have to do just to keep it secure is go around, pull it through just like you would with a lace or something. And that's going to keep it secure. And then don't worry about these end pieces. Maybe I'll do a double knot to keep it nice and strong. Okay, and then don't worry about these end pieces. We'll deal with them later. So I'm going to go back in now, same process with another piece of string. Okay, so I have done a section there at the top. So now I've chosen this green one, and it's kind of unraveled at the end, which I liked. So it's just a piece of material that I've cut the ends on. And I'm going back in on this side again, same method. I like to knot it when I'm starting a new piece. That keeps it strong and secure. And I'm leaving my piece there at the end, nice and long. So same method. I think for the start, I'm just gonna, so for this section, I'm not going all the way through to the other side. I'm going to do a little piece here. And as you go, you'll figure out new ways to do it yourself. So I'm leaving the fluffy side up here because I like the texture of it. So you can literally do anything. I always recommend doing this technique at the beginning because what you're going to have is a nice solid structure, because later we're going to cut these and you want this to hold together itself. So what we're doing is we're going backwards and forwards like so. I'm only going to do it on this side, not going all the way through to the other side. I'm going around here like so. And then you can do things like, I'll show you here. Okay, you can wrap around one piece of material. So I'm gathering all my pieces together so I can do this easily. And I'm wrapping around, like you would a hair wrap if you've ever done a hair wrap. Kind of similar technique. You just wrap around in a section like so. It's not going to look much now, but you'll see it later. From there, I'm going to start weaving again. So and you can see that these pieces now will be seen. They're not woven around. They're just going to leave them blank, just to make it interesting. You could technically do this method throughout the whole piece, and it'll be a lovely piece. It just depends what you like. I'm just showing you different kinds of things you can do for the purpose of the video, so that you can try what you like yourself. From here then, I'm just going to weave on again. So you can see these little pieces are empty. And from here, I'm just weaving down along my piece. Again, it's a bit fluffy, so it's harder to see. And you just keep going like so. Okay, so I just continued on and weaved in some more. You can see there's different tones there and the different colors. And then I had this old necklace, and I actually just weaved that into the piece just to add some feathers. There was feathers already stuck onto this necklace, so it adds a little bit something different. And I think for this piece, I'm just going to finish weaving with the same tones. You can imagine you can do these with loads of different colors. I just like this subtle kind of tone. So I'm going to finish in this section. Okay, so all I've done there now is finished off the bottom with green. And what I'm going to show you how to do now is to just finish it up. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to cut the back here. Okay, you're going to want to cut along these. The only thing is they're a little bit short. What normally I would do when I have loads of rope or loads of string is I go backwards and forwards here as well, just like on the front. Then you just cut across the middle, and then you can have more to work with. But because I only had a little bit of this lace, I've done a bit of a cheat. So cut them all along the top and the bottom. Then when you have them cut, you just take off the board. You can keep that again if you want to do another weave. And then you're left with this beautiful weave. So, okay, what we need to do now, I'm just gonna cut these at the top. And what you need to do, because otherwise it will unravel, is take off that piece that you used to keep it nice and strong. And then you're left with all these little dangly pieces on the top. and all you have to do is to knot them, okay? So you're knotting and knotting all the way along. This makes it nice and secure so that it won't unravel later. Do that all the way on the top and the bottom. Okay, so when you have knotted the top and the bottom, you can see this is a really small weave, so you might want to go for a larger one, which just means you get a larger piece of card in which to weave it on. Or you can make different ones and join them together. Okay, so now you have all these dangly bits everywhere around, so you want to tidy it up. So you can use a little needle. I don't have a needle with me at home, so I'm just going to use this pencil. And then what you're going to do is at the back of it is get these little pieces and kind of tuck them in. So you just catch them and this isn't working. Catch them and shove them into the weave. So you just this is going to take a bit of time. So into kind of the back little pieces, because there's loads. You tidy them in. You do that all the way along the top and the bottom. Okay, so now I have tidied up all the little the top pieces. I've tucked them in behind using my little pencil, and then I'm left with the weave. So here we go. You also have to make a choice about these little tangly pieces. You have options. You could plait them together. You could just get them and make them into little plaits, which I've done before. That can be nice. You can leave them loose like this, which I've decided I'm going to do for this piece because I have my feather and I quite like them all flowing like that. Or you can do the same process as you did for the top and the bottoms, and you can just bend it over and then weave them back into the back so that you're left with a nice clean crisp finish, if that's what you'd like. These can be lovely for using for little pot stands. They can be nice for hanging on the wall, or you can just sew them onto a bag. I've done that before, onto a little shopping bag. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to make a little wall hung piece. So I have these top little dangly pieces, and all I'm going to do is I got a little piece of driftwood, because I love driftwood, wound some wire around it, and I'm going to place it on the top here and knot it onto some of these pieces of material. Then when you're finished, tidy off the excess pieces. I'm just going to cut them off here. Be careful not to just cut off everything without securing them, because stuff can unravel easily with a weave. So I've done double knots. There's lots of stringy pieces of material. I'm just cutting those all off. Everything's secured, and there we have it. That is your final weave. It's hung on this. You can see all the little excess pieces. I like my feather that's hanging down. I'm leaving the ends all dangly like this, and that would be lovely hung on a wall. Okay. A nice technique as well, if you go with material to make your weave, is at the ends of the pieces where you have all these little dangly pieces, if you choose to leave them like I did, because I personally love the flow of them. I just go back in and I start to distress the material and pull off the excess. What you're left with then is this really stringy kind of textured finish, which can be really nice. Just looks organic. The kind of material I have, it's really easy to do with this. So feel free to play around and think of different ways to finish it. You can see then I get this like raveled, tangled kind of finish, which is really nice. I think it suits my piece. Yeah, so all you do is distress it. You can pull at the little strings and things. And there you have it. That's the final piece. I'm going to hang it up here on my wall. You see all the tangly pieces at the bottom add a nice aesthetic to the final piece. So there you have it, guys. That is my final weave. I'm really happy with it. It's going to work well in my home with my colour scheme. But you can do it to suit your own home or your bedroom, or make it for someone as a gift. As I said before, it's really nice to do this in nature as well, with different found materials outside. So if you want to go on a little nature hunt and find different branches and leaves and things like that, and see how they dry when you weave them, they're beautiful, and you can hang them outside under a tree or something like that as well, if you wanted to. So play around with it. Once you start doing this, you'll probably get lots of different ideas. And send me on your pictures when you make them, because I really enjoy looking at them, and we can share them together. So see you soon, guys. Have fun weaving.